now. Oh, welcome. Thanks for being here. It's really nice to have this opportunity to get to know each other and to share information with you about our university, Universidad Adolfo Ibáñez, in Viña del Mar and in Santiago. So you already know about us because we already have agreements and all that, and we have been accepting and sending students to most of your institutions. But I wanted to start from the beginning because there have been a lot of changes in the past few years. Here you can see our staff. Carlos Ramirez is our director. Lorena Leon is the coordinator of budget and management. Pascal Lidbach is in charge of all our special programs. Francisco Ferrer is our outgoing coordinator. Diego Mendez is our communications and agreements coordinator, and I'm Carolina Alarcón, the incoming coordinator. Agustin Julio was the incoming coordinator before my arrival. Actually, I started to work at UAI in October of 2021, and I started as the Students Affairs coordinator. But then, as I already mentioned, there have been a lot of changes. So now I'm the incoming coordinator. So I'm trying to cover everything that's related to students, international students at UAI. So here you can see all of our emails in case you need to contact a different person according of different situations or programs. You can contact a specific member of our staff, or you can send an email to our RII, and we can then forward the message to the appropriate person of the team. Just to have an idea, our university started as a business school in 1953, but now it's a university that has 8 faculties and schools. So most of the students that we receive here are business students. But in the past few years, we have been receiving a lot of engineering, psychology, and journalism or communication students. So I just wanted to mention this so you can be aware that we are more than a business school nowadays. So I'm gonna mention our faculties later, but I just wanted to give you this whole idea of how it started and how it's going nowadays. We have 2 campuses, one in Santiago. It's a big campus where the most of our local students are located in Santiago. And we have this other campus where I'm right now in Viña del Mar. It's a little bit smaller. Both are beautiful. The campus in Santiago is located in the middle of the Andes mountain, and we are in Viña del Mar at the top of a hill with a huge and beautiful view of the ocean, as you can see in those pictures right there. I'm going to start from the beginning, and I decided to call this the international journey of the student, because this journey for them starts with nomination. So all the international students must be nominated by you using a form. Most of you have been using the form, but we're going to send an updated version of the form for the next nomination period. So you can send that information by email so we can get that as a first look of the upcoming students. We have 2 main requirements. One is the GPA or an equivalent grade, depending on the grading scales that you have in your own countries. We have grades from 1 to 7, so it's the equivalent of a 5, nota or grade 5. And for students that need to take courses in Spanish, the level of B1 level is the required, but it would be even better if the student can get a B2 level in order to pass the courses without difficulties, or the less difficulties as possible. We will have 2 nomination periods a year. We sent an email a few months ago because we were trying to get a different dates in order to have more time to apply because of all the issues with the visas. But we figured out it wasn't the best idea because our dates didn't match. So we decided to go back to our original dates and to do a little modification. So we will open our nomination period on September for spring semester, and then in February for fall semester 2024. And we will have this 1 month to send nominations. And then students will have until the 5th of October and until the 5th of March to apply. That's the next step. Once the students have been nominated by you, the student will have to fill out online nomination application form. Most of you already have this information, but we will send it again in case there's an update for the next period, for 2024. But it should remain the same. If there are changes, they're going to be small changes, but that will be informed. So once you send the nomination, you will be able to send the instruction for the students to apply. So then they will have to do it before October 5th or before March 5th, depending on the semester they are going to be applying. So the requirements to apply are the same: a copy of the passport, of the front page of the passport, the statement of the student, that's a document that they have to sign, and also you have to sign it, where they commit to be like an ambassador and a good student. And the link to download that document, it's in the instructions. It's also in our website, and I will also send it to you when we send the instructions for next year. The transcript of records, and we're also asking for a Spanish language certificate for any student that is planning to take courses in Spanish. It doesn't have to be a TOEFL certificate. It can be a letter from the Spanish professor at the university, or someone that can say, this is the level of Spanish that the student has. It's just to have a backup in case the student doesn't perform as it should. Because we have had students that said, I'm a B2 level, but then they are here and then they realize they actually have an A2 level. So they face with a lot of challenges during their semester. So that's why we are asking for this document right now. But as I was saying, it's not an official certificate of a test they will have to pay for. It can be just a letter. We will also be requiring the international medical insurance and a student visa in case the students will decide to apply for the visa. Those documents can be sent up to 2 weeks before the beginning of the semester, because we know those are the final documents they will get prior to their trip. Once we receive all the nominations and applications, and we see if the students meet all the requirements, and after the application deadline is over, we will start to issue the acceptance letters. And the letters are sent directly from our system to the email account the student indicated in the form, in the application form. So that goes straight from the system to the student. Once we send the letters, we will have the first communication with the student. Until that point, you will be in between us and the student. But once they are accepted, we will send a first communication to them, where we will cover the following items like student visa or permiso transitorio, requirements for entering the country, housing, and the academic offer. Most of you already know a little bit about this situation, but the immigrant law changed on February last year, and even it should be a speed and easy process, it's the opposite. So it's taking longer because it has to be done online. Students don't have to go to the consulate or to the embassy or to an office to start the process. They will have to do everything online, but there's no way to follow up on what's going on. We actually here in Chile, as Chileans, we do not have access to the platform. Now it's only visible from outside the country. So we cannot guide the students on how is it going or where to go or where they can talk to, because we actually don't have even contact numbers or emails. It's really frustrating because we cannot help. And it's really hard to get information. So that's why, even if this is a complicated situation, on the other side, the government made a modification of the tourist visa, and that's what we are calling now permiso transitorio. So this new permiso says that anyone can come to Chile for 90 days, not only as a tourist, but they can also come here to study. But this permiso only lasts 90 days. So we know a semester lasts more than 90 days. So if we see it from this point, we know a student should apply for the visa because it's going to be here for longer, right? But on the other side, this permiso can also be renewed. So as many of the students are going to be traveling through South America or Argentina or maybe Bolivia, just for the fact to go out and re-enter the country, this permiso will renew automatically. So they will have extra 90 days. So that way they could actually be able to cover all their stay in the country. But as I was saying, this is not specific. There's no in any point of this new law says that a student can actually come for a semester, but they can use this permiso. So if we read this, we can say, yes, they're gonna, they can do it this way because they're gonna travel out of the country, so they will re-enter, or if not, they can actually pay for an extension, so they can stay. But of course, there's always a risk that someone at the airport can say, but as I said before, but you're gonna be here for more than 90 days, so you should come with the visa. But at this point, we haven't had any problems or situation with that. So that's why we are also showing this other option, because we know that students are not getting the visas on time because it's taking longer. So as we try to modify our dates, our application dates, but it's not working, we cannot have more time to apply for the visa. So that's why I decided to have this meeting to give you all the information. So you actually, then you will be able to check the links that you're seeing here. Unfortunately, most of the information is only in Spanish, but you can take a look and maybe you can decide how do you prefer to go on with this. At this point, we have one student that received the visa on time, but because she applied really early, because she decided she was gonna be here last spring. So she got all the documents before, and she was able to apply with the old acceptance letter. So she got the visa on time, but she actually entered as a tourist. So she hasn't had any problem until now. So we can talk about this later because I'm sure you have a lot of questions and I just don't want to continue losing time on this, but I just wanted to make sure that you know all this information. In case a student decide to come as a tourist, they will have to prove that they have at least $45 per day to cover their expenses. So that's something that's gonna be required at the airport. For this permiso, they just need to show up at the airport. They need to do anything before the trip, unless they are from any of the countries that are listed in this second link. So you can check that later because there are some countries we don't have like this visa waiver. Okay, so you can check that later. So I'm gonna continue with the requirements. Until Tuesday, we had a few requirements related to COVID, but since May 9, there are no enter requirements as the PCR or the vaccination certificate. So the students just need to come with their passport and any other document in case they're arriving with a visa or just with a permission. About housing, we don't have dorms. Our universities here in Chile doesn't have dorms or residencies. So we share with the students a catalog, one from Santiago and another one from Viña del Mar, with contact information of people that's renting rooms or apartments. So we just can share information with them and guide them if they need help with something, but it's responsibility of the student to find their own accommodation. And there are also a few places like this four that you see down there. There are students' residences. Most of them are in Santiago. And Next to Chile is a housing company. So they found, they work with host families. So if one of the students want to live with a host family, they can contact Nexo and then they help them with that. Now about the academic offer, this is one of the most stressful items for students because here we don't have the information or the list of courses for every semester with that, with anticipation or in advance as maybe you are used to. So we are working on that. So the idea is to try to have the information with more anticipation every semester. But actually, for our fall semester, it's easier to get information on time because that's decided at the end of the previous year. So for this semester, we're kind of ready with the offer, but there's gonna be a few updates because some codes can change or the names of the courses can change, or maybe one course can be split it and transform into two different courses. That kind of things can still happen. So we will have like the final list probably by the end of June. And the class schedules will be informed also by June when that information is already set. That information, of course, doesn't depend on us because those are undergraduate courses, but we are all the time trying to get information or any update in regards of the offer. So as soon as we got that information, we're going to be sharing it with students so they can have an idea of any change that it might be before the enrollment of courses. And this is important. For now, we only have courses in English in Campus Viña del Mar. So we're working on having a wide offer of English courses, having undergraduate courses in an English version, but also that doesn't depend on us. So we're gonna keep working on that to have a wide offer every semester, but we cannot guarantee there's gonna be English courses in Santiago. This is some of the list that we have sent to students. We're gonna share it with you later, of course. But we have courses in Spanish in Campus Santiago and Viña del Mar. We also have courses in English for international students in Viña del Mar, and we also have Spanish language courses also in Viña del Mar. So I'm gonna share this information with you later, as I was saying. Syllabus or the program of the courses is kind of the same situation we have with the academic offer. So as the list is not ready in advance, the syllabus are not on the system with the same anticipation. So professors have usually up to 1 week before the semester starts to upload the document. So sometimes it's hard to get all the information one semester ahead. So that's why we share all the syllabus from 2022 and the first, our current semester, 2023. So for now, students can take as a reference the full syllabus 2022. In case there's a course in the list for this upcoming semester and the syllabus is not available in the 2022 folder, they can contact me and I can try to get that syllabus in particular. But we're working also on trying to have this information in advance. We're going to share with you this link too, so you can get an idea and maybe help students to find a course that might be similar to the one that they are planning to take. All this information is what we have already shared with students. But here are a few more details we're going to share in our first orientation meeting we're going to have by the end of May. So all of this that I'm going to show you now, they don't have this information yet, but as I was saying, we'll have a few meetings with them to give them information and also to answer questions. Our university have 8 faculties and schools. All of them are open to international students except the School of Government, because it offers courses for postgraduate courses, and we at the international office only offer exchange opportunities at an undergraduate level. So School of Government will be out of the picture for them. And Design Lab is available, but it's only available in Campus Santiago. So if a student in Viña wants to take a course of Design Lab, it won't be possible. In that case, the student can change to Campus Santiago without any problem, before the semester starts, of course. We have had some cases of students that apply, for example, to Santiago, and then they decide to move to Viña, and we can do that after they apply, but before the semester starts. We also have courses in English for international students, in business, culture, Spanish language, and we are starting to develop a self-care area. An international student take between 4 or 5 courses that give them between 12 or 15 OA credits. This should be the equivalent to 24 to 30 ECTS. The conversion, it will depend on you, but our credits are usually half of the ECTS credits. Most of our classes have 2 modules a week and have 45 semester hours. You can see the class schedules. Classes start at 8:45 and the last class ends at 9:10 p.m. To pass a class, a student needs to have at least a 75% of attendance and a grade 4. That's the minimum grade to pass a class. If they have excellent grades but have less than 75, they can fail. And of course, the opposite way too. If they have 100% of attendance but have less than 4, they will fail the class too. Enrollment of courses will be done online. I don't have the exact date yet because we will depend on the TI department, but it should be by the middle of July. They will have all the information in advance, so they can decide which courses they're gonna take, but the enrollment will be done just by July. We suggest that students try to enroll 6 or 7 courses because they will have, well, sometimes they have conflict of hours, so they cannot enroll the courses that they want. So that's always a good idea to have extra courses to enroll. And in the case they can enroll them all, they will have the first 2 weeks of the semester to try classes. So they can attend and then they can drop or they can change one of the classes. And during those weeks, the attendance won't be counted because they will have this flexibility to try different courses until they can decide which ones they're gonna finally take. Of course, all the changes on the courses they need to add or drop should be approved by you. Then they will see all the courses enrolled in this platform that is called Intranet, the same platform where they are gonna enroll the courses. And if the course, for some reason, is not shown there, it means the course is not enrolled. So we are very specific in regards to this. The students need to be aware that they can see there all the courses they need. Because if they're not there, it means the student is not enrolled. There's also another platform that's called WebCursos, where professors upload materials and add the assignments and share information and all that during the semester. So this is a platform the students will use a lot. So they will get used to it once they are here, and they can log in Intranet and also in WebCursos with their UAI credentials. So we are waiting for them for the credentials. So we're gonna share it with students as soon are available. So they will have access to these platforms in advance. They will need to have their credentials in order to register their courses. This is the academic calendar for fall semester, just to have an idea, but we will have, well, there is one online orientation session, but we will have one now by the end of May, another one in June, and another one in July, specifically to give them information about the enrollment of courses. Then we will have our welcome day in Santiago, then in Viña del Mar. Classes will start on July 31st. The UAI Day, or our anniversary, is on October 4. Then we will have our international fair, but it probably is not gonna be a fair anymore, but it's gonna be an international activity where we're gonna gather international students and local students that are going abroad. So if we have a student from Portugal and we have a Chilean student that's gonna go to Portugal, we're gonna put them together so they can share their experiences. So we're encouraging students to bring everything they can to be or to promote their countries, their culture, their university, so they can share something else with students here in Chile. So we're gonna have that in October, one day in Santiago and another day in Viña. The dates might change, but until now, they're gonna be in October. Then there's a break week, Semana de Pausa. This is something that started during the pandemic. We had break week last week here. So for the next semester is gonna be in October. And then we will have some surveys. So it's important to know the opinion of students in regards of academic and our program in general. So we're going to have that by the end of November. Then a farewell activity before the classes end, because sometimes students just go and start to travel and we don't see them anymore. So we're going to do it before the end of classes. Then we'll have the exams period that goes from November 27 to December 13. The dates are announced by the undergraduate department usually a month before the end of the classes. So we cannot know that in advance. So I know students get really stressed because of this, because they don't know and they cannot plan their final trips or their trip back home. But actually we cannot inform because we don't know the dates. It depends on the undergraduate department. And the semester will end on November 14, and transcripts of records are going to be sent from us directly to you by January 5th. We're going to try to do it before, but that's our deadline, January 5th, 2024. About student life, we have a buddy program. They are in charge to accompany, to help, to guide, to party, and to spend time with students. They divide the international group in small groups. So there's a buddy in charge of a group of probably 5 or 7 international students. It depends, of course, of the amount of international students every semester. But they start communication with the students before they arrive through WhatsApp groups. So they help a lot also on finding housing, and they are really important in all this process especially before the arrival, and of course during the whole semester, because they are an important part of the experience the students have, because they also help a lot with being part of the university and to get to know the culture. So we have exchange students team in Viña del Mar and ESA, Exchange Student Association in Santiago. And they are students organizations from the university, and they work directly with us. So they help in everything that's related with local students. And these are some of all of the other students organizations where international students can also be part of. So this information is going to be shared with them too, so they can take a look and see if there's a group of their interest, and they can be part of it and work during the semester in everything they do, in all the activities on campus and outside in the city or in other places. This is also an opportunity to have a real student life here in Chile. Sports are really important for UAI. Actually, local students need to pass 8 levels, 8 semesters of sports in order to graduate. So there's a lot of sports activities on campus. There's also a gym that's available for international students. And if a student, for example, plays soccer or volleyball, they can also try for the team of the university. So, of course, it will depend on the coach, but they can actually be part of the team and play against other teams in the city. There's also extra academic workshops during the semester. The students also can sign up for that. This information it's shared with the students after the semester starts, by the middle of March or by the middle of August. And these are workshops offered by DAE. DAE is the Dirección de Asuntos Estudiantiles, or the Students' Affairs at the university. So these are also options for international students. Here are a few workshops, but this semester we have an offer of 40 workshops. So every semester are more opportunities for international students also to be part of this. It's also an opportunity to join the English department to help local students to improve their English language skills during hangout sessions that are happening every Wednesday on campus. This, for now, this is only available in Viña del Mar. We're working with the department in Santiago, but there's an opportunity, a good opportunity. We have 5 international students this semester working with the English program. There's also another area that supports students. There you can see DAE, I already mentioned it, Students Affair. They're in charge of everything that's about student life on campus. There's also CADE, that's a Centro de Asesoramiento y Desarrollo Estudiantil. They're mainly counseling. So if one of the students is dealing with homesick, or if, for example, it's taking a mental health treatment, for example, and needs extra sessions, or want to have some sessions apart of the ones that maybe have online with their own doctor at their home country, they can also do that for free. So it's a good support the university provides to students. And for example, this week is the self-care week at the university. So there's gonna be yoga at the soccer courts, other calm spaces on campus, so the students can go there and relax and just lay in the yard. So there are many opportunities during this whole week, so students can have mindfulness and calm and counseling opportunities on campus. There's also an enfermería or a first aid services. We have a nurse on campus that provides first aid attention. And there's also apoyo académico, so they help in everything related with the academic development of the student. And the last part should be this: some of the faculties we have on campus: cafeterias, computer labs, we have chapels, first aid services, gym, library, lounge areas, shuttle buses. We have free shuttle buses because there's no public transportation to any of both campuses. So students needs to take a shuttle bus, or they can carpool with other local students, but they cannot get here by public transportation. In Viña, it's a little bit easier to walk up the hill or walk down, but we do not recommend, just for safety issues, especially at night. But there's also an option. In Santiago, it's not a good idea because it's really far. So these are shuttle buses that are free for students, and there are a few bus stops in downtown Viña del Mar and also downtown Santiago, so students can just show up there and take the bus to go to classes. And there's also study rooms in the library building, so students can go there, then they can make a reservation and go with a study group or go alone and work there in a space and private room. And this is just a suggestion, a website where students can, or you can also do it, have an idea on how much it's the life cost in Chile lately. We know prices are high everywhere, but this is useful to have an idea on how much money students can spend during their semester abroad. And the last part is our social media. We're mainly active on Instagram. Facebook, actually, nobody uses Facebook anymore. but we also have our account, but we are actually really active on social media. And our website, we are working on a few updates in regards of the academic offer and a few details as the application and nomination dates, but that should be updated in the following weeks. So you can also take a look at that and get more information on our program. So that's presentation. There's a lot of information. I hope you could understand everything I was saying. So if you have questions, let me know. You can write on the chat, or you can activate your microphone as you prefer. Great. So if you don't have questions, that's good. It means I was able to share all you needed to know. It was important for me that you have the same information we're giving to students, so you can decide how to guide them in regards of the visa or the permiso. You will be able to check the links on the presentation. At this point, we are suggesting to use the permiso transitorio, as the visa it has a cost, of course, and they don't have the guarantee that they will receive it. I've heard from other students in different universities, because this semester we don't have any student that applied for the visa and receive it once they arrive to Chile. In the past, students were able to apply for the visa after entering the country, but with this modification, it's not possible anymore. But I have heard from other students that have received the visa while they are here, and after a trip to Argentina, for example, when they're returning, they could activate the visa. But I don't have any case from UAE students, international UAE students, so I cannot give accurate information in regards of that. But if I get information, if that happens to any of our students, I will share their experience with you, so you can have that as an example on what you can decide to do in the future.
Sorry, I have one question actually about the visa.
So I'm going to share this as soon as the recording is ready. You know, it takes a few minutes maybe to get ready, and I share it with you as soon as it's possible. Okay. I think I didn't forget anything. I hope I didn't forget anything, but I'm able to. The permiso transitorio doesn't need to be asked. You just need to show up. The permiso transitorio, they will get it immediately at the police control at the airport. They don't need to apply for that. But you have to check in case you have a student, for example, from I don't know, I don't remember any country right now, but for example, I don't know, Barbados. Probably they will have to apply for this permiso transitorio, because there are a few countries that don't have this visa waive. So in that case, you will have to check that. But if not, students just need to show up at the airport with all the documentation, the regular documentation as a tourist.
I also had a question about the
Thank you
permiso
very much
transitorio.
for your patience, for
Okay.
being here, for your kindness. So it's really good to see faces and to have an idea of who you are, not only by email. No, I cannot hear you, Margot.
I'm very sorry. Can you hear me?
No, I cannot hear you.
Wait.
Okay. No worries. No, in case a student applied for the visa and they receive it on time before the trip, or when they receive it actually, because probably they can receive it the same day they are traveling. But if they apply for the visa and if they get the visa, the idea is to send us a copy of that. But if they don't, they just need to enter with the permiso they will get right there at the airport. So it's just in the case they apply for the visa and they get it on time. You're welcome. So if you don't have more questions, we'll finish our meeting right here. So thank you again, especially those of you that are ready to go to bed or in a bad time. I try to find a good time in between, but probably it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard, but I appreciate that you took the time to be here. So I'm really happy, and I think it was a good idea. So you can all have the information, and we can start from now on. Okay, so have a nice rest of the day, and we'll be in touch. And I will keep you updated in regards of the academic offer. Okay, so thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so very much. Have a
I
good day.
cannot hear you, Genevieve, but I don't know. Okay. Okay. Oh, thank you. Bye-bye.